Hi everybody, this is Kathy Peterson with the International KuneKune Pig Society. As you know, we frequently do videos and articles for continued learning opportunities. So one of the things I really want to talk about today is KuneKune pig pricing. That's a question I get a lot. How much do KuneKune pigs cost? Along with this video, we have a really in-depth article that you may want to consider reading as well. So what are the factors that affect the cost of KuneKune pigs? If you're considering adding KuneKune pigs to your farm or your homestead, discover all the important factors that go into this by watching this video. So back in 2012, when Goose Meadow, Matt Burton, and Christopher Raleigh imported pigs from the UK, pigs at that time, because of those bloodlines, were $2,500 to $3,000. But as you can expect, through the years, those pricing have changed, and they've changed greatly. As a breed becomes higher in demand, higher in utilization, and being used more in breeding, they are more heavily populated, and therefore the pricing does go down some. So in general, right now, you can expect to pay $500 to about $750, $850 per pig. Now this, of course, is a breeding animal, but you can expect for them to be up to $1,000 for some of the other belted, banded, and high percentage white animals. And we talk more about that in the article, and we're going to briefly touch on it here. So there's a lot of factors that go into pricing, and we're going to touch on some of those now. So the age of the animal. Of course, you can expect to pay a lot less money for a piglet than you will, say, an adult ready-to-breed animal. Of course, your return on investment is higher if you are buying an animal that is ready to breed. Someone else has already put that extra cost into getting them to that size through feeding and vaccinations and dewormings. Therefore, you can expect that when they're a little bit older or near breeding age, that you're going to pay a little bit more than, say, a piglet. Location. So kunikunis are located all over the world, but the pricing can vary. So whether you're in Canada or you're in the United States, the pricing can vary by states. So it might be worth your while sometimes if you're looking in your area for a pig, and you can check the nearby states that are easily drivable to, and you may even save a few $100s. The sex of the animal. So in general, if you're buying a female, females usually tend to be a little bit higher than a male. Males seem to be heavily produced in litters. Just recently, there was a litter of 7 little males. So this does happen. So females are usually a little bit higher. Now, since we're a purebred registry, we only deal in registered animals that are DNA tested. So whether the animal is registered or unregistered, that's a big pricing variation. But because we are a purebred registry, we're going to assume that we are discussing registered animals. Vaccinations. Whether the breeder vaccinates and deworms is going to have a lot of variation in the factor for the pricing. Breeder reputation. If your breeder has been breeding for a long time and is a very well-known breeder, then they have a higher demand for their piglets because of their experience level. So sometimes the breeder's reputation can play a factor into the price of the pig. So some of your newer breeders who are not well known, then their pricing may be a little bit lower. Bloodline. That's a huge factor in pricing. Back in when kunikunis first came into the U.S., the Andrew, the Twangi, and the Jenny were among the very first that came into this country. So those bloodlines have been used for more years. So, of course, there's more Andrews, there's more Twinkies, and there's more Jennies. They're more heavily populated throughout the US and Canada. Therefore, you can usually expect to pay a little bit less for those, but of course, there are some exceptions. And likewise, you can expect to pay a little bit more for some of the newer bloodlines. Another factor is whether it's a breeding animal or a pet. So if you're going to be breeding from the animal, then you're going to pay a little bit more. If you're getting a neutered male, which is called a barrow, which is a pet, then you can expect to pay a little bit less, of course. Color can be a factor. So as I mentioned before, there's belted, banded, kunikunis, and high percentage whites. In general, those particular colors are a fad in the US, and we do go into that more in our article. But as a fad, they do tend to bring a little bit higher pricing. So if you like those bands and the belts and the high percentage whites, you're going to pay just a little bit more for them. So as you can tell, there's a lot of different factors that go into the pricing. So the bloodlines can affect it, the colors will affect it, the age, the sex, the location that the animal is in, how many that the particular breeder may have available for sale can sometimes be a factor. So, again, to recap, you can expect to pay anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for a breeding animal. Likewise, you can expect your barrows or meat animals to be around $350. You do want to factor in the location of the animals, as I mentioned before, and transportation cost. How are you going to get your pig? So that's something that you need to, have a general idea. So pigs can be transported on airlines, which of course is expensive, but it's necessary. If you get the animal that you are looking for, then it's well worth the extra cost to get exactly what you want. If you're doing grounds transportation, and like I said, sometimes you can find in nearby states, maybe the breeder's willing to meet you halfway. That can certainly help with some of the transportation cost. So I advise you to research, do your homework, contact breeders, find out how much they sell for, compare that to some neighboring states to see how much those are. So do your homework and research the average prices for kunikuni pigs in your area so that you can make an informed decision. Be sure to ask about if they charge extra for transportation for meeting you halfway. So where do you find kunikuni pigs for sale? Well, this is one thing that IKKPS really supersedes on over some of the other registries. We have so many ways to help our breeders be successful. And it also helps people who are interested in buying kunikunis. We have a breeders list on our website. We have a breeders list in the herd book so that you can find breeders near you. We have classified ads on the website. We have classified ads in the herd book. So they're under the tab for sale. We have a breeders list that is mapped. It's got little marks on it of where different breeders are. So you can find easily some of the breeders that are closest to you, or breeders that are in a drivable distance. And one thing that's really cool about the IKKPS and our herd book is in the for sale section is litters. So they're listed in the most recent to, where it goes down, but it will list all of the litters for sale. So if you're looking for a particular bloodline, it's awesome to use because you can easily find the particular ones that you're looking for. And in the IKKPS herd book, we have pictures. So within the pedigree, there will be pictures of the ancestors. So that's a really cool feature, and no other kunikuni registry offers that. So you can research the pedigree, see pictures of the ancestors. And as more and more kunikunis get registered with IKKPS, you will see more and more pictures starting to show up. So we currently have over 300 that are registered and or litter notified with IKKPS. So we're really, really excited about that. So, in conclusion, kunikunis are a great investment for small farms and homesteads. Pricing can vary depending on many, many factors. We hope that you enjoyed this, and we invite you to come over to ikkps.org. Check out all of the information that we have. We have so much information on our website to help you with every step of the process. We invite you to join IKKPS. We are building a community of kunikuni breeders. We offer continued learning and so many membership benefits. So check us out at ikkps.org. And please, we invite you to read the article because it does go into a little bit more depth. Have a great day.